Welcome to Book Selfie. You just tuned yourself to the coolest place to buy your books to read and listen. It is the site where readers find the niftiest books, awesomest stories from the coolest authors. It is the place that books a lot.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Books on Fire. This is our 7th awesome episode. Phew, I remember the first one, but I mostly remember the months before when we were trying to figure out how in the world we can get this all put together. Well, here we are on the 7th episode and broadcasting live from the center of the universe, Austin, Texas. Sorry, guys, this is the center of the universe just for today. Okay, syndicated live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. If we're lucky, that is Instagram. So, once again, this is a Book Selfie production, and my name is Gurhan. I am one of the founders of Book Selfie. So, why did we come up with this show? Yeah, well, the answer is actually it's in the back of each book that you buy from Book Selfie. Just kidding. So, because we wanted to give a different type of experience to the book lovers beyond scrolling through all those thumbnails. This is a live book sales event. We invite authors to talk about their books, and I make a few stupid dad jokes, as you heard before, and then some, of course. So, on that note, you book lovers enjoy the show and purchase your books with a huge smile on your face because this is a different type of experience. All you have to do is go to bookselfie.com/live where you will see the books that we are featuring today and purchase them. Once you purchase your books, download our Book Selfie app, log in with the same credentials, you are going to see your book or books to read or listen, and it's just going to show up on the app. By the way, if you just scroll down to the footer of the site, you will see the links to download our app. So, let's talk about today's lineup. We are going to start with a sci-fi novel, follow it with a thriller, suspense. Then we're going to take a break for an exciting Book Selfie news. Everything's exciting in Book Selfie. We are then going to insert a little suspense action fiction. So let me introduce my co-host, Jenny Rosenblum. I must mention, though, she is also from Texas. And again, as I said, center of the universe. She's from Austin, Texas. And best of all, she is one of the greatest editors in USA. And if you want to contact her, the website is jennyreads.com. I'm going to include that link in the description below. So, okay, Jenny, I'm going to put you on. Ready? Okay.
Yes.
There she is.
Here I am. Texas is not the center of the universe. It's the center of the sun. Because we are still hitting in the 90s. Like even just 90 would be nice, but I think 96 today. So I am here in nice air conditioning with my ceiling fan going on, trying to feel fall in my orange to talk about some books that you can curl up with a good thing of hot chocolate. I personally will be doing iced tea. But the first author we've got today is Leif Erikson, and he comes to us from Minnesota. He has written over 14 books in genres from mystery to science fiction, but the book he's talking about today has a very strong AI, artificial intelligence, and what if vein, which I'm really interested in. His book is available on bookselfie.com. It's called Winter Falls, and he also has a copy. Leif, tell me about this book.
Well, this is Winter Falls, a science fiction case study in artificial intelligence. Dr. Jack Hall is a computer scientist, and he develops an AI program that is to control a city. He envisions no traffic jams, using load balancing software to control the flow of traffic, power usage, and it ties into everything, medical emergencies. And the software he creates is quite incredible. And he finds a town in the Midwest called Winter Falls that believes in him, and they install this software in their city. And as the book starts, they turn on the AI and start running it, but then within the city, the mayor's office and the people controlling it, they start winding up getting some strange murders that they can't explain. And the mayor of the city has much bigger intentions. He wants to run for higher offices, and he's using this AI program to show that he's, forward thinking and not afraid of technology. But very quickly the technology starts breaking down, and they try to figure out why. And it's a very fast-paced read, and it delves deep into what some of the applications of AI could be, and how it could be used to better our lives, and how it could be misused to make our lives more difficult.
Okay, I wanted to say something here. I just want to butt in. I know it's
Yep.
Jenny's turn, but I'm going to butt in. AI. To start with, here, I just don't want it to shine that much. Go ahead, Life. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Yep.
Let's see it. Yes, it's wonderful. It's awesome. Now, of course, today's topic, the current topic in America is AI.
Yep.
And, of course, AI written books and AI audiobooks. I have to mention one thing. Not this book, but it is the Dimensions. Actually, Life was one of the first authors that came and accepted our offer to turn that book into AI voiceover audiobooks. That is also available. And I just want to mention it that it's a forward-thinking, of course, the sci-fi guy, sci-fi
Yep.
author, awesome. I just want to butt in. Now I'm just gonna get out. I'm gonna put. Let's see.
It was my turn. So, Leif, I just have a couple questions.
Sure.
Would you live in Winter Falls?
The description of the city, it's very nice. I think if people read it, if they've been to some of the west suburbs of Minneapolis, they'll recognize some of the influences of the city. And I used to live in the west suburbs of Minneapolis for a while, so I think Winter Falls would be a nice place to live. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I have dabbled in AI, and I have
Yep.
found some really good uses for it. Do you use it in your personal life, and how encompassing do you see it becoming?
I have, ever since some of the first AI, some of the chatbots came out, I've been using them, just testing around. I've asked probably a couple dozen times to analyze the Powerball numbers and give me the winners. It won't do it.
I know.
Aside from writing, I do a lot of work in the stock market, and I've asked it questions in that, and it's one of those things where we're going to see it be more and more involved in people's lives, and it has its uses. But once again, you have to know how to use the technology. You can ask it the same question a dozen different ways and get a dozen different answers. So it really depends on the person that's using it as to how good that AI is going to be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have found that. I have found it useful for polishing, asking things that are very time consuming.
Yep.
Comp titles for authors. I will tell you, it does a great job
Good job. Yep.
in that. But do you really think it'll be taking over our lives, or do you think, in your personal opinion? I know you can't, unless you've got a crystal ball.
Well, I'll always put it this way: when anybody asks me that question, if we think the Terminator or Matrix or AI is going to take over, how many times do you have to reboot your computer in a day? No.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's the self-driving cars that there was just recently a
Yep.
group of like 30 of them downtown.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. And if you'd like to get
You're
his
welcome.
book,
Yeah.
all you have to do is go to bookselfie.com/live. It's going to be down here. Pick up his book at Winter Falls, and we'll be reading, and maybe even AI will be reading it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much
Thank
for your
you.
time
Yep.
today.
Yep.
Okay. So, next author. I have to tell you, this is a little bit of an expose, but she didn't know I was going to do this. So the next author is one of my favorites. And I know you're not supposed to have favorites, it's like children, but there's always, a few of them authors that are just a little bit more. And this lady is a little bit more. Like, I don't think she sleeps the amount of things she does. We are going to be joined by Leslie Piggott. Now, she is a Texas gal, but today she was smart and she went north to Kansas where she could cool down for a while. She's created an
It's 95 here. I brought the heat with me.
Oh no!
It's going to be 83 the day after I leave.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry. So much for that. Well, Leslie has created an investigative series centered around a journalist named Carrie. Now, Leslie, tell us about Chasing the Edge, of which I also have a copy. Mine's even autographed by this person, so it's a special copy.
So Chasing the Edge is, like you said, the main character is Carrie Turnlisle, and she is a journalist. She starts in this book as a sports writer. The beginning of the book, she's at a track meet and covering that for her newspaper. She works for a newspaper that I created called the Bennington Beagle. I created a town in New York because for me it was easier than looking up streets constantly and seeing what intersects here or there. I can say it has a college or a zoo or whatever. Tell me it doesn't. And she's at this track meet and she's supposed to be covering this new athlete, star hurdler, and he's running in the 400-meter hurdles, and he's almost at the finish, and at the last hurdle he collapses, and she thinks he's tripped, but the woman next to her, the young woman, is hysterical, and then she sees them, using the AED on him, doing CPR, and he dies. And something feels off to her, and she tries to look into it more, and nobody wants to hear about it. And the next day, another person from the athletic community of this college is found dead as well. And she's still met with opposition on trying to say the deaths are related. She is new as a journalist in this town, and she has big dreams, and she is not always the most ethical person. So she has to really struggle to toe the line of making good choices, making the right decision, and chasing her dream. And there's some personal struggles and career struggles within her story.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. Now, I have a couple questions for you. What made you pick a journalist to be one of your main characters?
So whenever I write a book, I sort of outline the whole thing, start to finish, what I see happening. And it obviously will change some as I actually start writing the words onto the Word document. But I kind of was deciding between doing the journalist, Carrie, as the main character, and the other sort of main character, Genevieve Viacourt, which is the detective and her friend. And as I was mulling this over, which one would make the better main character for the series, there's a lot of suspense series out there that have FBI agents and police officers, detectives, private investigators. If you search up mysteries, they're almost always, that's what you're going to find as the main character. So I thought, maybe I'll go from the other side and be a little different. Maybe it will be interesting to people to see something from the other side. I don't have a background in journalism or law enforcement, so neither one was more comfortable in that way. But I just thought it would be kind of fun to look at it from a different side.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I enjoy it because of not having a police background, because I know a little bit more, not a lot, but a little bit more about journalism and some of the work that they do, journalists and investigations and following stories. What a great segue to get into what poor Carrie gets into. Now, I know this is the first book, but there's a lot more available. So tell me, how many books in the series and when's the next one coming out?
There's currently 3 in the series that are available for purchase. The 4th one is coming out January 17th, 2024. And then we actually have a change in setting. So Life was talking about his book in Minneapolis area. And my 4th book in this series is called The Mystery of Spectre Island. Again, it's not a real place, but it is based off of a real place and in Wisconsin, not far from Minneapolis, off of Lake Superior. So I think it'll be a really fun book for anybody that's engaged with this series, to see Carrie and her vacation time.
Yeah, yeah. It has that. So I have read it already. Everyone out there, and the editor tells me that she's pretty much done. You should have it back by Monday morning at the latest. So, and yeah, it takes her out of her element. But Carrie is a really interesting woman to follow, and I have thoroughly enjoyed this whole series. Thank you, Leslie. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Can you, yes, one more time, bookselfie.com/live, get Chasing the Edge, and check out all of, what I love is when the series is already out and you don't have to just wait. Like, she's got 3 of them, so just go boom, 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 and you can go through all of them.
Yeah, and if it takes you a month to read them, you'll be ready in January for number
Yes.
4. I don't think it'll take you that long.
Thanks, Leslie. Okay, we're going to go back to Gerhan, who has our commercial break.
And this commercial break is brought to you by Mandan. Okay, let me get myself on the screen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, news today is nothing but a huge excitement. I told you before, I mean, Book Selfie, it's always an excitement. It's always big and it's always huge. Let me start with the bottom line. You will be making twice as much money on your print books by buying them as author copies on a discount from Amazon and selling them on our Book Selfie bookstore on TikTok. Okay, one more time. You are going to be making twice as much money on your print books by buying them as an author, okay, on a discount from Amazon and selling them on our Book Selfie bookstore on TikTok. Okay, let me just break it down for you. So we are going to upload all that information about your book on our Book Selfie TikTok bookstore. You are going to set your price. You're the boss. You're the author. It's your book. When your book is sold, you are going to buy your print book as an author copy, in other words, on a discount from Amazon, and tell Amazon where to send your book. You don't have your Amazon send it to you and you send it to the purchaser. No, you tell Amazon to send it to the purchaser directly. So, Book Selfie is going to pay you, including the shipping cost. That's where everybody is like a little bit of delirious, Hey, who's going to pay the shipping cost? No, the reader is going to pay the shipping cost. Nothing is coming out of your pocket. So you will be actually making twice as much profit on your books than selling them on Amazon. This is what they call in America shooting yourself in the foot. Take that, Mr. Amazon. Yes, we found a good loophole, and it is just the Book Selfie magic, right? Check out the link below where you can enter the price of your book that you are going to be selling or you are selling on Amazon and enter the cost of your author copy, again, Amazon gives that to you, bam, you will see that you will be making twice as much on your books. Okay, so I certainly hope this is a little clear, but one way or another, at the end of the day, if you sell it on Book Selfie, TikTok, Bookstore, you're going to be making twice as much. That's at least, by the way. I just keep saying twice, but it's more than twice, but I just don't want to go there, on selling it on our bookstore. Okay, now I'm done with the exciting news. And don't just drop the show and go over there and start calculating and everything. And no, finish the show and then go back and go to that link. You can't go to that link. I haven't put it in there anyway. So that's okay. I'm also short, by the way. Short, green, you know how it is. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, what I am going to do is my teleprompter, it's stopped. So I have to find this place where I have to keep going, but that's okay. I'm not going to use the teleprompter. I'm just going to tell everybody that this is a Book Selfie production. And ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do is go to any of our channels to watch it at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we are always on LinkedIn, hopefully on Instagram. And I have a thumbs up on Instagram. Yes, my assistant is going like this. Yes, we're good, surprisingly. And YouTube and LinkedIn, Facebook, all those channels we are on. And at 2 o'clock at CST with all these lovely authors. And if you happen to miss this, we also have the whole thing on our website. Just you just take a look at the drop down on the on the header, you will find it. Now, if you're driving or if you want to download it and if you want to listen to it, and this show is also on major channels like Amazon and Spotify, Deezer, and iHeart, and all those podcasts, because we take this and we turn it into a podcast and then we'll just flush it through the internet. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have today. And all you have to do is, I'm going to repeat Jenny, all you got to do is read a book, will you? Thank you.
Welcome to Book Selfie. You just tuned yourself to the coolest place to buy your books to read and listen. It is the site where readers find the niftiest books, awesomest stories from the coolest authors. It is the place that books a lot